Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you all doing? I'm doing okay. I still just can't get over this Volshan redesign, man. It's so weird. Just feels so wrong, man. With the release of yesterday's patch, I think I know exactly how you felt when you played this game in English. I have no idea what the new content is like, but I have been seeing people, have not a good time. I don't have context on it, but there's... Like, I was asked to look at a couple of lines, apparently, from, like, the newest stuff. And there's, like, a ton of foreshadowing, like, very obvious foreshadowing that's completely missed in the English. Or, like, completely wrong. I don't know if I should talk about it. I don't know if I should go over it, because... I mean, I guess it's kind of technically almost spoilers, but it's really not, because if you were playing in English, you would never know. And also, I have zero context for what it's actually about. But, as usual, they've gotten, like, you know, some very important directionality things completely wrong. They're still fumbling the difference between idea, the Platonic philosophical concept of the idea versus just saying concept. You know, yeah, so business as usual, yeah. Uh-huh. It's very fun. I love it here. Okay, yeah, at least we can understand each other, that's great. Yeah, don't let your guard down. Just because they're not our enemy doesn't mean they're on our side. Yeah, Yashtola also, I checked a line before I went live, Yashtola said basically like, oh, you know, them being contracted by Xenos probably is why they can fully understand our language. Nice, dude. That's great. Yeah, that's, that was where I was at when I was playing the game the first time in English with Japanese audio. And then just crashing out constantly. I was just making zero progress because I would have to, like, I would listen to a cutscene and then just go back and go, that none of that is what they fucking said. Hang on, let me rewatch the cutscene multiple times to confirm that I'm not crazy. Oh yeah, it's all wrong. This is awesome. I love it here. What is it? Okay. Yeah, so. What now? You, yeah, I can't imagine you guys ended up in this, prison by chance. What are you, like, looking for here? Okay, we heard that there was a highly intelligent aberrant imprisoned here. You know, we needed to find somebody who we could actually have a conversation with. Huh, that's a fun way of him wording that. He says, like, yes, I'm sure you must have... Like, I'm sure you may have already figured it out, but we're from, like, a neighboring yet very different world. It's like we have crossed over from a neighboring yet very different world. You know, as such, there are many things about this world that we just don't know. Okay, so then could you please tell us about yourself and about this world? Okay. Yeah, so short version, you're looking for information. Okay, that's fine. Huh. I'm assuming that Sashidasa is, like, specifically actually saying, like, so what's in it for me? Oh, one moment. I need to have open my side dictionary. Toyuto. See, that's... these are the things that always get me, man. Where I'm like, that seems like a weird thing for you to say. And then the characters go, that's a weird thing for you to say. It's always, even when it's so incredibly obvious, it always trips me out because there's that, like, 1% chance. 1% chance that you're just reading it wrong. I mean, in this case, it's, like, less than 1%. But it's always just barely enough for me to not be able to go like, yes, 100% confidence. But, you know, Volshan is also confused. It's like, yeah, so what's in it for me? Wait, what do you mean? Yeah, we here will never do anything that isn't in our own self-interest. Yeah, if you want something, you need to, like, you know, offer up. You have to give out, like, equivalent compensation. I mean, you would probably just say, like, if you want something, you need to be ready to pay an equal price. You know, that's the one and only rule. You know, absolute rule of, you know, this world you call the Void. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Apologies for our, you know, my rudeness. However, yeah, I don't think that the, you know, currency that we have will have any value here. What exactly should we offer up? Yeah, obviously it was going to be ether. Yeah, there's... Yeah, no need to worry about that. Or really, that's like, oh, that goes without saying. There's only one thing Aberrants want, and that's ether. Okay. Yeah, if I give you the information that you want, then you'll give me, you know, you'll promise to give me some ether in return. You know, not enough to kill you, of course. Oh wait, no, god damn it, yeah, that was your Shola talking, obviously. See, that's the problem here, is that if you just, like, I was like, wait, that was weird. But then I just went, no, I'll be confident. No, that was the Shola line. So that completely changes the context. It was, alright then, if you give us the information that we're looking for, we'll give you, you know, ether in return. You know, not all of our ether, though, obviously. That's fine. Okay, in that case, like, what, I'll tell you just enough to... It's like to have the cost not be fatal, basically. Thank you. It's a deal then. Specifically, I do think that it's fun that... I do think that it's fun, actually. Like, I kind of downplayed it there, but it's... Like, she says, "Omae o kuitsukasanai." In English you might say, like, you know, I'll tell you just enough so you... Like, so that the cost won't, like, drain you dry, or something like that. She uses, like, a, you know, an eating, like a devouring metaphor there. It's not even really a metaphor, it's just saying, like, you know, so that I won't have to like, devour you. That is the cost. Okay. So if we're going to, you know, just talk about the void, it'd be better to go somewhere else first. Let's leave the, you know, this building. Sure. Okay, yeah, if you're worried about my ether, don't, yeah, no need. She's saying, like, you could just go back to the original world, rest up for a bit and be fine. Hey, wait a second, I thought that Yashola was slowly dying because of the ether cost of using her eyes. But here she's saying that you can just, like, rest for a bit and recover your ether? Plot hole, plot hole. That's such a plot hole. It's not like it was just a dumb mistranslation. As the game goes on, it keeps getting funnier. It keeps getting funnier that they wrote it out that, like, her using fucking basic, like, base amounts of ether to see is somehow killing her. God, it's great.
果てなく闇に覆われた空。これこそが私のあるべき世界。お前たちの言う異界ボイドの現状だ。
Okay. It's like a never-ending sky, or... you might say boundless. Or unending. Like, unendingly. A sky shrouded and covered in darkness. This is the world in which I belong. Like, that is, like, what... Like, that is the state of what you call the void. She is wheeling and dealing. I'm using 10 milliliters of blood every day to see. One day this will kill me, surely. Yeah. Like, that whole segment is so funny to me, because in the Japanese, it's very clearly just Motoya going, "What in the hell are you doing? You, like, blinded yourself, and now you're like brute forcing a way of seeing again, and you're just like trying to pretend like nothing's wrong with that? What is wrong with you? You're insane. Meanwhile, the English has it go, oh, you're gonna kill yourself doing that. It just, like, translating it the way that they did requires such a, like, piss-poor reading comprehension level.
昔はこの世界にも光が存在していた。空はまばゆく輝き、緑生い茂る大地に紺碧の海。そう。命育まれる世界が確かにあったんだ。
Yeah. In the past, this world had light. It's like the sky was blindingly radiant. You know, it's like the land was like lush and green, the oceans, you know, the deepest, like the ocean's deep blue. It's like life, yes, life once flourished here.
Memoria 戦争が起こるまではな。
Memoria Senso? I'm sorry, Memoria. Oh, fuck. Fuck, fuck. Fuck. What are they going for with Memoria? I mean, it's just memory. Like, that is just memory. Right? Like... that's just Latin for memory. So, it's like, until the Memoria War. Hold on. Question. What question? What do they call this in English? Oh, they actually call it the Memoria War? I'm surprised. I would have thought they would do something dumb. I don't think so. Oh no.
Memoria?
Memoria? Contra Memoria? Oh my fucking god, they can't resist. I'm in their heads at this point, man. I'm in their heads at this point. I saw Memoria Senso, and I was like, ooh, if I was a dipshit, like if I was just a real fucking moron, I would see this as like, ooh, here's my big chance. Memoria Senso, Memorial War, I think I can make that better. Memoria.
その戦争によってエーテルの調和が乱れたことで闇が世界を覆ってこのありさまだ。
Okay, the war threw the, like, balance of ether into disarray, and darkness covered the world. You know, leading to this. Or it's like, you know, and darkness covered the world, and here we are.
すべての生き物は例外なく異形と化した。お前たちが用意と呼ぶ存在にな。
All living things, without exception, underwent grotesque transformations. You know, becoming what you call aberrants.
今じゃ用意であることがこの世界にとっての自然になってしまった。
Okay, that's kind of annoying, but it's like and so now, like these aberrants, or like, you know, aberrants are natural to this world. It's like, you know, it's the natural state of
第一
things.
世界で光の反乱によって積み食いが生じたようなものね。用意と積み食いで属性は反対だけど、成り立ちや性質には共通点も多いわ。
We are the natural order now. Okay, okay. That You're making me relapse. I'm gonna have to go check. I'm gonna have to go check this. But this is the one English that we're doing for today. This is the only English. I'll budget myself one English. Ahem. This is where I belong, my home, this endless darkness you call the void. There was once light here, and it shone its warmth upon creation. The lands were green and the seas were blue. Life flourished. Man, they can't write for shit. Before the war, the Contra Memoria. It must have been a terrible war indeed. I'm sorry, Valshan's... His line in Japanese was Memoria. His line was just, she says, before the Memoria War. And Valshan just goes, Memoria? You know, going like, what do you mean by that? In English they go, it must have been a terrible war indeed. No, the natural thing is not to respond and question this unknown phrase. It's to immediately launch into, it must have been a terrible war indeed. It shattered the balance, causing darkness to engulf the world. All life was transformed into monstrosities. Void sent. We are the natural order now. So, you see why void sent doesn't work as a translation for these things? Because they're not void sent, they're in the void. And also, she doesn't call them void sent. She says all of us underwent grotesque transformations. All life, you know, without exception, underwent grotesque transformations into those things which you call aberrant. However, you know, in this world, those, you know, those aberrants are natural. She's actually making a distinction. She's saying you're calling them aberrants, but they're natural here. You completely got rid of that, so that's great. I just think it's the Contra Memoria is very stupid, and then it must have been a terrible war indeed. No, yeah, it's one of those things where changing a name willy-nilly results in problems later down the line. They saw Yoi, which is just like, you know, bizarre occurrence, mysterious occurrence, supernatural phenomenon. Here, let me throw it. Let me just put it in chat. Here's the kanji that they use. Yoi. Yoi. They decided, oh, we'll just go with Void Scent for that. Because we want to make it sound more fantasy-like and cool. Despite the fact that Yoi actually makes sense for them to refer to these things as such. Like, they already have an idea of, like, what monsters and things like that are. But then there's this other class of things that are just weird. They're these, like, you know, paranormal, supernatural phenomenon, things that are clearly otherworldly and weird and fucked up. And so they just refer to them as Yoi. Now, the problem arises in that there isn't a super clean one-word translation for this in English, but you just have to actually, like, put yourself into the character's shoes and stuff and think, what would make sense for somebody to be like, oh, you know, this is some weird thing that we cannot possibly explain. They wouldn't go with void scent. You'd go with aberrant to aberration. Honestly, even cryptid would potentially work. Like, it's... To put it into perspective, I would say that it is leagues closer. It is so much closer to cryptid than it is to void scent. It's like how in the first world, the flood of light, you know, gave rise to sin eaters. You know, they're like attributes of the like aberrants and sin eaters are the exact opposite. They're, you know, their origins and nature share many similarities.
太陽の巡りは失われ、昼と夜は溶け合い、やがて海と陸の境界すら曖昧になって闇に沈んだ。
Damn. Yeah, it's like... It's like, yeah, the sun no longer, like, rose or set. Day and night blended, you know, blended together as one. And eventually even the bounds between land and sea like grew vague, you know, and all sank into darkness.
そして用意溶かした者たちは、半ば理性を失いながらも、心に焼き付いた記憶の影を頼りに、己の領域を築いて暮らすようになった。
Okay. It's like, yeah, and those who became aberrants, like in their half-mad state, you know, it's like, they're like, you know, half insane. I guess you would probably say half-mad. God damn, this is very fucking cool and poetic. Okay, but that also makes it very difficult. It's like, you know, those who became aberrants in their half-mad state, you know, guided by the shadows of memory, like, eternally burnt upon their hearts, or like, yeah, like seared upon their hearts. Like, constructed their domains. To, like, live out their lives. What, like, shadows of memory seared upon their hearts is fucking metal.
あの城だってそうだ。主だった用意は昔あんな場所に住んでいたんだろう。
And the same goes for that castle. You know, the aberrant that was its lord must have lived, you know, in a place like that long in the past.
少しいいかしら。私の目にはあなたの中で渦巻く闇の力が見えているの。人としては濃すぎるほどの、まさに用意の性質そのもの。
Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, like my eyes can see the darkness swirling within you. You're far, far too, what, like, deep to be human. It's like... It's like, まさに良いの性質そのもの. I don't know, you might say like you are as aberrant as possible.
けれど、あなたの口ぶりは他の用意たちと違う。闇の反乱以前の世界について、そんな風に語る者に出会ったのは初めてよ。
However, yeah, the way in which you speak is different from the other aberrants. This is the first time we've met anyone who has, you know, spoken in that way of the world before the flood of darkness.
ねえ、あなたは本当に用意なの？それとも。
Yeah, this really is, hey, are you actually an aberrant? Or maybe...
「他の用意と違って当然だ。私は半端者。言うなれば汎用なのだから。
You've made this as difficult for me as physically possible. Also, could you seriously make this OC any edgier? Oh my fucking god. Fucking Cold Steel the Hedgehog. Kill me. So... Here's the problem. Japanese, they can just slap the kanji for half and slap the first kanji for yoi together. Wait till you hear her name, though. Oh, God. What is it gonna be? It's gonna be... I'm running through all of, like, the edgiest possible names that I can think of. Like, there's potential for Tenshi, you know, her name being, like, Angel or something like that. There's... I'm not gonna front. This is gonna be a situation where when they show it, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna say, like, oh, I thought it, but I didn't say it, and nobody's gonna believe me. Okay, so she says, obviously, you know, I'm different from the other aberrants. I can't think of a good single word translation for this. It's like, you know, I'm like a half-breed. You know, if you had to say... There is no translation for this. You can't go with, like, half aberrant. Fuck. Oh, fuck, this sucks. If this... Okay, if this... It's in quotes, so it probably matters. Which really sucks. It really sucks. I mean, the thing that matters here is that she says, 他の用意と違って当然だ. Oh no, that isn't... okay then. I'm void sent, but only in part? No. No, she says, obviously I'm different from the other aberrants. And also, Hampamono there is a, like, derogatory term. It's sort of like a, you know, saying, like, I'm incomplete, right? In that state. Yeah, but it's more derogatory. Like, Hampamono is also used to mean, like, to refer to somebody as a moron. You know, you might say, like, it's like, you know, half-baked or not finished, incomplete, sloppily made. Mongrel is, yeah, definitely not right.
"世界を滅ぼしたメモリア戦争が始まって間もない頃、一人の女が過剰な闇を見に受けた状態で赤子を産んだ。
Oh my god, this is what they're going with. Okay, shortly after the Memorial War that would destroy the world began, while, you know, suffering from while carrying, like, you know, bearing an overwhelming amount of darkness, a woman gave birth to an infant.
見た目は他の赤子と変わらなかったが、中身は闇による侵食を受け、もはや人とは呼べなかった。成長が最盛期で止まり、老化しないのもその証拠。
I'm sorry, and oh my... This has to be on purpose at this point, right? This has to be on purpose at this point, that we are making the most Chunibyo-ass character physically possible. Okay, hold on. I really want to guess the name, man. If I could get it right. And from the outside, you know, it looked no different from the other children, but you know, its essence had been... That is like essence, you know, it's like but on the inside, you know, had been eaten away by, or like, yeah, that's like consumed by darkness. Yeah. And could no longer be called human. You know, like that I like stopped like aging, or it's like that I stopped growing at my prime, and do not age serve as proof.
それが私だ。まあ、今となっては完全な用意と区別する必要もない。
That's what I am. Well, you know, with things as they are now, there's like really no need to differentiate between myself and a like full aberrant. Name drop? God damn it.
強き者に従属して身を守る。目的もなく、ただあり続けるだけの存在だ。
Okay. what, like, taking any possible opportunity to prey upon the weak. You know, submitting to the strong to protect one's own self. You know, something that exists. Something without purpose that exists simply to keep on existing.
立ち入ったことを聞いてしまったわね。ごめんなさい。あなたは
I'm sorry to pry. It's like, that isn't really like. I guess that's like, I'm sorry that I suppose that was a bit too personal. I really am sorry you.
いけない。私としたことがあなたの名前を聞いていなかったわ。
It's like, oh, I'm sorry. We haven't, you know, I never even asked your name.
ただ用意とでも呼べばいいだろう。私たちだってお前たちのことを単に人間と呼んでいるんだ。
Yeah, you can just call me aberrant. I mean, after all, we just call you humans. Or it's like, after all, you can just call me aberrant. After all, we just call you human.
しかし、それでは区別がつかなくてさすがに不
人
便だ。
間。Also,
許されるなら
once
君自身
again,
の名を呼びたいのだ
it's
が
so funny to me how, like, right on the money I was with the soul split stuff and saying, like, man, you really just need to call all of the player character races human. Hey, look, in that previous line, they just say ningen. That's human. That is human being. Explicitly. I'm not gonna relapse. I'm not gonna check the English. But there's no way in hell that they translated ningen to human. They're gonna have translated it to something stupid, and it's gonna be very dumb. Okay, it's like, but, you know, in that case, we wouldn't be able to tell you apart from any of the others. Which would be a real problem on which would be, you know, real problem for us. I mean, it is just like, that would be rather inconvenient. If you don't mind, we would like to use your name.
なら好きに呼べばいい。私にこだわりはない。
Yeah, then... Okay, it's like, then, yeah, call me whatever you want. I don't care. Don't do it. Don't do it.
それじゃあゼロなんてどうかしら。
Can I uninstall? Would you guys believe me if I said I was going to say 0? This has to be an intentional Chuny-ass thing. This has to be intentionally as Chuny as possible. I'm not gonna go 100, I'm gonna go 90. I wouldn't believe you, that's unfortunate. And I will say the name Zero gets used way too much in, like, Japanese, Chuny media. Yeah, so, how about 0?
何もないという意味か。
No,
確かに私に似合いだな。
no, it's not going to be, oh, you know, what, so, nothingness. You know, meaning nothingness. Yeah, that fits me. No, she's gonna say, like, no, it's not nothingness. 0 is the number of infinite potential. 0 can be anything. Right? Like, that's every single fucking time. It's going to be like, no, 0 doesn't mean nothing. It means endless possibility. It could be anything. You're going to do it word for word that.
それは始まりを表す言葉。
Yup.
私たちにとってのあなたはこれから決まるという意味よ。互いを遠ざけるも歩み寄るも。
Yup. And no, it, marks the beginning. It's like a word that, marks marks a beginning. To us. What you are has yet to be decided. Like, what you will be has yet to be decided. Will we push each other away, or... meet eye to eye?
Ma, 何でもいい。
Yeah. Well, this is like, what? Well, anything's fine by me. Your two options here are, nice to meet you, 0, or I think it's a great name.
Yoroshiku? 私と取引がしたいということか。
Oh my god! Oh, this is so... Fuck, that's impossible. Okay, so to explain here, yoroshiku can be used to... Yoroshiku, I don't know why it's like yoroshiku and... there's a couple of said phrase words that I have trouble pronouncing for some reason. But... this can be used to mean a whole bunch of different things. It could just mean nice to meet you, it can mean... looking forward to working with you, can mean, etc., etc. And so, you say, yoroshiku 0. And she goes, yoroshiku? Like, what, are you trying to, do a trade with me? Right? Like, there is no... I don't think that there's any sort of greeting that you could give in English that would lead to this sort of misunderstanding. You might need to do an entirely different thing altogether. Fuck, actually, no. No. In English you would say, like, top option would have to be, like, glad to have you on board. Right, the top option in English would be like, glad to have you on board, and she would go, on board. I haven't signed anything. It's like, what, you trying to get me to, like, sign a contract or something? That's the only one that I can think of. Here's to a fruitful partnership. That's about as awkward as you could have possibly done it. Okay, well then, 0. There's more questions I'd like to ask you, but I believe first we should tell you what it is we're doing here.
私たちは竜を探しに来たのだ。かつてゲートを通ってこの世界へ渡ってきた。我が姉にして 七大天竜の一翼アジュダヤを。
Okay, so it is Ichioku. Wait, okay. Ah, dude. Man, I'm wanting to go on so many side tangents today, but whenever people say like, oh, Japanese is super easy, you just pronounce it exactly as it's written, that is not actually technically correct. There are words in which sounds get like dropped. It's usually correct that it's easier to baseline pronounce a word. Like, it's mostly right, but, for example, the pronunciation there for, it's technically Ichiyoku. Ichiyoku. For Mora. The way he actually pronounced it was Ichioku. Where that yo kind of turned into an o. Like, it just kind of gets slurred together. The same thing happens with shito. Like, technically, it is hito. It is hito for person. But nobody says sono hito. Like, if you say sono hito, that just sounds so fucking weird and wrong and awful. It's hito. Or hito. Like, depending on the person, there's more or less of the he in there. Like, more or less of it gets kind of cut off. But if you say sono hito, even if you have perfect pronunciation on the hito, it sounds weird as all hell. Anyway, we're here looking for a dragon. Oh no, yeah, it's definitely easier to, like, sound out and pronounce than fucking English, for sure. This, though, also, to go on another tangent, this is one of the things that this game does specifically that makes my life a living hell, which is this かつてゲートを通ってこの世界へ渡ってきた我が姉にして、七大天竜の一翼アジュダヤを That sentence final O. So the O there is the like active particle. So it's we're here looking for a dragon. And then all the way at the very end do you clarify the action of the sentence. So all of this, everything before Ajudaya is just modifying the noun Ajudaya. Meaning in English you gotta flip the whole fucking sentence. You have to take this whole two-line sentence and unscramble it. So it's, we're here looking for a dragon. Like, one who... Like, my sister, one of the 7, great, holy, celestial dragons who once passed through, a gate into this world. Ajudaya. You ever get the feel with Japanese like you're actually learning several languages stacked on top of each other? That's every language. I hate to break it to you. But that's every language. People always like to talk about, what is it called? What's this would be an amazing Northern Line bit if I just had this, like, off the dome. If I just had this immediately off the dome, this would be an amazing Northern Lion bit. There it was. All languages are somewhere on the linguistic Kinsey scale, right? It's like, you don't have a straight up, purely... Fuck, again... Yeah, like, there's no language that's a 0 on the Kinsey scale for, like, commingling with other languages. All of them are, at least somewhat curious as to what other languages in the vicinity are up to. They'll borrow a noun somewhere, they'll, like, make out with a verb conjugation in high school to see what it's like. You know, and then some of them might go, like, all the way to a 4, like with Japanese, where they go, ooh, you know, I really like what Chinese is doing with that writing system right there. Let me get her number. Again, this would have been an amazing bit if I had all of this just off the dome. But yeah, no, every language is, at least to some extent, a mishmash of other linguistic properties. Then they patched the language in the katakana update and things really went to shit? Yeah. You're simply not bold enough? Fuck, you're right. I should go get laser treatment on my scalp. You know, I really gotta... It's for better, you know, like, the fully bald head really helps to, like, vent heat. It's like a air cooling system for your brain.
Liu.
Dragon.
ああ、その消息について何か知っていることがあれば教えてほしいのだが。
Okay, it's like, yeah, if you know anything about where she might be, please, you know, I'd like for you to tell us, but... What do you need a timestamp for?
今何か言ったか？
I'm sorry, Volshan. I'm sorry, do you think that... Is Estinian typically in the habit of just going... Hey, did you say something just now?
いや、何も。
No? No, I didn't say anything.
私にも聞こえたような気がしたけれど、用意たちのささやきかしら。
Sasayaki. God, I love the word sasayaki. Sasayaki is such a... I don't know, I think to native Japanese speakers, they might not understand what the hell I'm talking about. But to me, sasayaki is such a... It's such a quintessentially Japanese word. Within the Japanese language, do you understand? You know, just like I think that the most English word in the English language... you know, I'm gonna say corn dog. That's like the single most English word physically possible. Either that or like droll. So in any case, this is, yeah, you know, I feel like I heard something too. You know, maybe the like murmurings of aberrants. It's like whispering, murmuring. Fucking zero. You know, what could possibly begin in this world that's already ended? So, okay. This character design, for me, whenever, it's become a bit of a tradition for me ever since I played Bloodborne for the first time and just started mashing like crazy. I didn't like Bloodborne whatsoever. The gameplay was very brainless. So I played the game at first and tried to actually, like, you know, be reasonable. And then I realized that the game was just mash L1 to win. You don't care about taking damage or anything like that, and so I just made, like, the edgiest possible OC. Named them fucking Ten Shinigami. And just started going apeshit, and they looked damn near identical to this character. Except, of course, white hair heterochromia. With the point being that if anybody were to invade the character world, they would just see the most cringe physical nonsense. And so that is carried over into every Souls game that I've played. And this character looks like every single fucking Souls game created character that I've made, intentionally designed to be as chuny as possible. Okay, this place is like wide open, so it's like easy to catch the eye of more aberrants. I believe we should be careful. I mean, it's not that I'm necessarily poisoned against the character, but this does, to me at least, feel like Square Enix has made so many characters like this that I do think that the character is intentionally over the top edgy as like an intentional nod towards chunies. Okay, Xenos just got done talking. Let's go back to, we can get back to it after we get, into the castle. Okay, let's go to the hallway we fought the Lord. There's limited points of entrance and exit. Okay, it should be easy to set up. Sure. Yeah, give me information. First you tell me to give you information, now you're telling me to move. It's a lot of orders. But, if you were to hand over some ether, I wouldn't mind. What was that noise? Oh? Oh? I didn't hear anything. Alright, I understand. As soon as we get somewhere safe. I mean, so far as the character itself is concerned, I don't really particularly mind. I would say that a lot of her, her chuny rants are actually very well written. They don't feel overly ostentatious, but they don't feel, too blunt. The descriptions that she gave for the world before the Flood of Darkness were, very genuinely beautiful. But I think that what they're going to get into here is... I think that the thing that they're going to get into here is the concept of... Shizen, or... Am I using that right? Of nature versus yoi. Right? Something being natural versus something being supernatural. Abnormal. Aberrant. Right? I think that's a very critical line. Okay, I'm gonna hand over the ether. And that's the sort of thing that doesn't come across, that's one of the really big problems with the whole void scent thing. Because, I mean, I feel like they wouldn't really set up the side-by-side... Where was it? Let me see. They say, you can just call me an aberrant. You can just call me aberrant. After all, we just call you human. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, here, I'm gonna throw this line into chat real quick. So, this line is the one that I think is, like, pretty blatant foreshadowing. It's like now, like, in this world, you know, this is either, you could either say this as, like, being an aberrant, or there being aberrants is natural in this world. Like, I think that the whole point of this line is the contrast between Yoi and Shizen. Shizen being nature or natural. So you can see how one word is referring to nature, one word is referring to something that is explicitly unnatural. However, void scent doesn't necessarily mean explicitly unnatural. Like, void scent and natural do not read as antonyms, whereas aberrant and natural do. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of cutscenes. Quest battle, you can start again, yup. Yeah, Earth scent.
この辺りでいいだろう。そろそろエーテルをもらおうか。
And here should be fine. And come on. Like, give me my ether.
ええ、いいわ。
Well, really, that's more like, can I have my ether now? Yeah. Alright. Can we give her the ether in the form of a nice burger? Perhaps some McDonald's nuggets? That's... that really should be like, I've got you, or... Ooh. Oh, what a shame. You know, just missed it.
こいつはさっき倒したと思っていたが生きていたのか
Oh, it's him. I thought we killed it earlier, but it lived.
愚か者どもめ、この世界に死など存在しない。ことに我は蘇りなど自由自在よ。
I'm sorry, what? Yeah, you fools. There is no such thing as death in this world. The like, kotoni or tokuni. And like what like above all may resurrect as I wish.
死が存在しないですって。
There is no such thing as death.
盲点だったわ。停滞の光に侵された第一世界の無の大地では新たな命が生まれなかった。
I'm sorry, I don't think that counts as molten, actually. So, molten means, like, blind spot, right? Like, that was a blind spot, but in English it's like, I can't believe I overlooked that. It's like, you know, in the you know, absolute nothingness. Like in the first, like in those places of absolute nothingness, consumed by stagnant light. Or that is like the light of stagnation, the light of stasis. No new life could be born.
反対に火星の闇で侵されたボイドでは肉体を離れた魂すら安らぎを得られないというのね。
Okay. Okay. However, you know, on the other hand, conversely, you know, in the void, like overrun by the, you know, darkness of activity, of action, even souls that have been separated from their bodies cannot find peace.
死してなお帰れない。他者にエーテルを食われでもしない限り、何度でも蘇ってくるというのか。
Wait a second, what? Oh, that's what you mean, Kaede Night. It's like even in death one cannot return, quote unquote, to the world, right? Unless unless your ether is consumed by another. You can just come back again and again and again.
Kisama, よく見ればあれと似てとてもうまそうなエーテルをしておるな。
God damn it. God damn it. We're doing the Ade thing again. Okay, the fact that it says Ade is very important. Okay, so specifically Ade is not referring to something that is living. I can think of a couple of ways that they could be going with this. They could be saying, like, they could have the like, dragon as effectively an ether battery that they're just, like, very slowly consuming and not even thinking of as a living entity. That's maybe what I'm getting from this Ade. Yeah, like, you know, like, now that I've got a good look at you. You know, you're just like that. You're just like that thing. With that, like, delicious looking ether of yours.
何?
What? Ade is very important.
あれはうまかったな。欲しいぞ。お前のエーテルも。
It really was so delicious. I want it, your ether as well. Ade is specifically dehumanizing.
我が力にて手駒として蘇らせてやろう。
Okay, what, it's like all... Like with... Like my power, I'll resurrect... What, those drifting about to use as my pawns? What, he's gonna summon just a bunch of little... There's gonna be just a bunch of little guys? Oh, okay, yeah. It's supposed to be incredibly ambiguous as to what he's referring to with the whole audit thing. So if the English translation says, like, her, or does it as a name... Whatever you do in the English for that, it needs to be... like an object. It's like, oh, what, we're right back where we started? Why is he extending his S's? Yeah, and that creature is completely wrong. Okay, but that's fine. We can just take him out however many times it takes.
ねえ、あなたも手を貸してくれると助かるのだけれど。
Hey. It'd be a real help if you could lend a hand.
さっきの礼はもらい損ねたからな。約束が果たされるまで何かしてやる道理はない。
Yeah, I didn't get my payment before. Yeah, it's like I didn't even get, my last payment. And so until that, payment's received, I have no reason to do anything for you.
そいつは自力で何とかしろ。お前たちが負けたとしても散ったエーテルをいただくだけだ。
Yeah, so you can deal with him on your own. And if you lose, I'll just take the, that ether you leave behind.
まさかこのような極上の餌にありつけるとは。面倒な任務と思っていたが、なかなかどうして。
I don't know. I think that him waiting until this moment to do it actually kind of makes sense. He waited for a point where you had your guard down. And Yashtola was just giving out ether, right? I never thought I would find such, exquisite prey. I really thought this mission was going to be a real pain in the ass, but it's like things are really turning around, I guess.
さあ、精一杯あがくがいい。その精に満ち満ちたエーテル。
Okay, yeah, struggle as much as you can. It's like, I'll devour every last drop of that, vigorous, vibrant, whatever you want to say, life.
この城の者どもも今や私のしもべと化した。
Okay.
餌の時間だ。
Okay, time to hunt. Sure.
城内の用意が集まってきているわ。戦闘が長引くとまずそうね。
I do really like them using the old battle music. That is a lot of fun.
父のスカルミリオーネの真髄見せてやろう。
Okay, that was a very cool line from Istinian Day.
量の再生能力を加速させている。
Istinian Day was just like he can summon as many as he wants. Basically just saying bring it on.
貴様らに勝ち目はない。
Yeah, and he's going like, oh, you cannot possibly win, yada yada. This is very, very classic Final Fantasy.
いくらお風呂が無駄なことや。
このままでは。この状況、
Yeah.
奴に分がありすぎる。
There's just too many of them.
引きずり出したいのは 集まれ。一人では耐えられん。
ラッチが開かない。
There we go.
一度引いて策を練った方が良さそうね。
Okay, that's like... Okay, that is like we need to... Yeah, let's fall back. We need to come up with a plan.
何度やったところで貴様らに勝ち目はない。
Okay. You still don't understand. You know, no matter how many times we fight, you have no chance of victory. Or it's like, no matter how many times you do this, you cannot win. He is really being more rough. It shouldn't be like any sort of super fancy thing. It is just like, you know, Kisamara ni kachime wa nai.
あら、私の魔力はまだまだ尽きることがなくてよ。
Yeah, oh. Yeah, my, it's like, what, my magic is far from running out.
おい、何か復活を止める方法はないのか？
Hey, is there any way to stop him from... Yeah, like, stop these, resurrections? Oh, he's gonna say no. Okay.
だが、それをお前たちに教える理由がない。
Yeah, there is a way, but I have no reason to tell you.
"ねえゼロ、思い返してみたのだけれど、私たちあなたに一つ貸しがあったわ。
Ah, Kashi. Kashi. Yeah, okay. I get what you're going with here. So, what you have to say here is, hey, Zero. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, we did give you one thing. What she says is Kashi, is like, you know, like you do have something that you owe us, but the word being used is kasu, kashi, meaning to like lend. The directionality here matters, and so in English you'd have to go with something of like, you know, we did give you something, right? Which is going to be the name.
ゼロ、あなたの名前よ。
Yeah, Zero. Your name.
私たちはあなたに名前を送った。お望みのエーテルを後で渡すとしたら、その分のお礼が足りないのではなくて？
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we gave you a name. Okay, I get what they're basically going with here. It's like, she's saying like, you know, we can give you the rest of the ether later. You know, if you can like repay us now for the name, effectively. Right? We're doing the hat tip again.
頼んだ覚えはないんだが。
I don't remember asking for a name, but...
まあいい。押し付けられたものでも受け入れはしたんだからな。
Yeah, fine. It's like what, even though you like forced it. Okay, you wanna... It's like even if you did like force the issue, I did accept the name. Oh, turning them into crystals? What, and then you like consume the crystal or something?
これは用意の魂が 結晶に
The aberrant soul turned into a crystal.
おお、便利な技を持ってるじゃないか。
Oh, that's handy, ain't it? Only one flavor. I don't know. I feel like they could be. It could just be one color, but you get multiple flavors.
これなら文句ないだろ
It's like, yeah, that should be plenty, right?
ええ、上出来だわ。
Yes. Yeah, wonderful. Wonderfully done.
みんなもう一度だ。ゼロの力も加わ
Okay, one more time. Zero, we can defeat whatever his name is.
貴様、次は一体何をした？
Milione. What? What did you just do?
そういえばお前にも借りがあったな
Yeah, it's like, okay. It's like, yeah, you know, come to think of it, I owe you something too. Or it's like, wait, no, that was the other way around.
一撃返させてもらおう
Yeah, no, that was the other way around. Actually, Karigatana. Yeah, no, I am right. Okay, that's like... It's like, yeah, I've gotta repay you. Like, return the favor for that... You know, that attack from earlier, right? You might go with, like, you know, you attacked us, time for me to return the favor.
一方的に押し付けられたので借りは借りだ
Yeah, it's like it was a one-sided thing, but, you know,
チャラにしてもらうぞ
like a debt is a debt.
用意を結晶化するなんて
彼女の力は
一体土のスカルミリオーネの強さ、ゆっくり味わいながら死ね。
Oh shit.
まずは雑魚から片付けるべきか
Oh, we're really... This is a...
この
雑魚から
排除する
This is some very aggressively... Shunio-ass shit, man.
ここで消えてもらう くらえ
小賢しいまで。これならどうだ。
また用意が湧いてきたか。
受けてみろ
やるな。
Okay, so you just have to, like, stand in the spots where Zero then actually takes out the target, right? Sure.
役に立たぬ雑魚どもめ。
He's just calling the things that he summons, like, worthless garbage.
助けるぞ。
Okay, they're laying it on a little bit thick of like, oh, without her help, we can't take him out. Zed? That would be kind of funny.
光ができた。
So, hold on. If you're here as a Reaper, you just get to, like, completely clown her at her own bit.
我が力で貴様らを葬ってやる。
向こうも本気というわけか。
Oh, he's getting serious. Oh.
ならばこっちも全力で行くぞ。
Okay, these lines are all exactly what you would think. I've completely forgotten to actually use lucid dreaming at any point. Spent far too much MP on nonsense.
ここで全員朽ち果てよう。
Yeah, I always completely forget to use thin air, man.
これで勝負を決める気よ。
みんな私の元に集まってくれ。
押し切るぞ。
Look, 99.999% of the time when I'm playing this game, this never comes up or matters. I have zero muscle memory for it. Probably because 99.9% of the time I'm playing the game, I'm not in combat.
バカめ、この私の再生能力を甘く見るなよ。何度やられようが、すぐに復活を。
Yeah, okay, don't underestimate you, you fool. Don't underestimate my resurrection. No matter how many times you, like, take me down, I'll come right back.
なぜこんなことが。
And no, why can't I regenerate? What's going on?
エーテルを結晶に封じ。これはもしやメモリアか。
Ooh, okay.
どうして貴様に
Ether stored sealed in crystals. Wait, this is Memoria. Why do you possess that power?
この世界で私が消えることなどあるはずが。
It's like, what, in this world abandoned by death, I can't possibly,
見ますぞ。
disappear.
ことになると知っていたら
Lord Gordoviz, I'll remember this.
に乗ることなど。
Okay? If I had known that it would come to this, I never would have fallen for it. Getting the crystal, nerd. Oh shit, we're actually doing a Transcendence flashback for the first time in forever? I think it's been like an expansion and a half.
よくぞ集まった。力を求めし者たちよ。
You've... Okay, this is like... Anytime you run into this, like, this Yokuzo... I don't think that you should actually go with well met. You might have to go with well met, actually. I think, fuck, you actually have to go with, like, well met. Like, ye seekers of power.
私の名は ゴルベーザ。
My name is Gorubeza.
我々は来たる聖戦に勝ち残らなければならない。そのためには上昇の軍勢が必要である。
I mean, this dude does talk in like a ostentatious, old-fashioned sort of way. So... No, that one was Fuawa, which was great. It's like we must have victory. We must triumph in the coming holy war. And for that purpose, like an invincible army is required.
諸君らにはその先鋒となり、兵を率いることを期待しているぞ。
This guy is great. This guy is great. It's like, I have high hopes. Well, this Kitai is like, is expectations. It's, I think you would go with like, I have high hopes that you all, you know, could serve as, you know, the vanguard and lead those, like, those forces.
ちょっと待ちな。約束を忘れちゃいないだろうな。
Now, wait just a second. You haven't forgotten your promise, have you?
そうとも、機下に加われば、我々に極上のエーテルを与えてくれる。そういう話だったな。
Yeah, that if we were to join your ranks. Or it's like if we were to become your subordinates. You would provide us with the finest ether imaginable. Right?
無論忘れてなどおらぬ。
Hold
今
on.
の諸君らはあまりにも脆弱であるがゆえ、
Who is
共に
this?
歩むためにも
Hold on.
強くあってもらわねばこちらが困る。
I recognize this guy's voice. That was it! Wait a second, how did I know that? Yeah, this dude does sound like Iori. Yeah, that's how I knew. Yeah, KOF Iori. Yeah. That's where I recognized him from. Okay. Yes, of course, I have not forgotten. But as you all are, you are far too weak. You might go with frail there. Yeah, it's like as you are now, you all are far too frail. If you are to, like, walk by my side. Like, it would not do for me to be burdened with, like, the weak at my side. Is what, pretty much what he's saying.
そこまで言って波の獲物を出されたら承知しないよ。
ああ、ご挨拶だね。 It's like, well, you're talking big, but you know, if you like, if after saying all of that, you give us, you know, you provide us some like meager prey, I won't stand for it. You know, we won't stand for
よ
it.
かろう。ならばこれを見るがいい。
Very well. Then bear witness. Or you could maybe say, behold. Oh, fuck. And there's the dragon.
赤き翼に竹だけ敷きつの。そして、ああ、なんと正義に満ち溢れたエーテルか。
So, again, this is why saying are there actually matters instead of saying creature. These things see it as food. Red wings, those, like, fierce horns. And that vibrant ether. Oh, what vibrant ether? Oh, Kano Sekai? Yeah, is this, you know, from that world?
さよう。諸君らはこれなる竜のエーテルを食らい、さらなる強者、我が四天王へと生まれ変わるのだ。
Oh my god, that's the funniest MTL mistake I've seen in a long ass time. So, Mr. Left, oh my god. That's Sayo, meaning indeed. But you could, if you were very stupid, see the kanji for left and the kanji and sama. Like the honorific. That's very funny. It's like, you shall devour this dragon's ether and be reborn stronger. Or, and mightier too shall ye be reborn. As my 4 heavenly kings. So again, shitenno is very important here. This is, while not being an actual one-to-one for this concept, there's plenty of Western fiction that references, like, a fictional set of 4 archangels, right? Like, you'll have somebody and they'll have, like, my archangels, right? The 4 heavenly kings, the shitenno, is the same thing. This is a very common, pervasive concept throughout fiction in which this real concept is used, but a twist is put on it as a fictionalized version of it, right? I mean, honestly, if you were going to... So, the text limitation thing, I don't really buy, because if you wanted to do it properly... Well, 1, Fiend and Heavenly King just do not work together. One of them is negative, the other are positive. And 2, you could have just called them the 4 kings. You could have said 4 kings, and then in another text box where you had a bit more space, given the full name. And just said 4 heavenly kings, and then just shortened it to 4 kings before. But really, like, this is a case of fiction using a real concept, and so you need to keep it. Saying fiends is very stupid. You'd run into Nintendo of America jumping on you over the closest to We 3 Kings? Maybe? But I don't take anything that was done in that era of translation with, like, in good faith, considering that they had explicitly shown themselves to be bad faith actors. Like, that whole era of translation, people openly openly cop to doing things intentionally incorrectly and changing shit just because they didn't like it. So I'm not gonna take, even if they were to say like, oh, we wanted to do that, but Nintendo didn't let us. Bullshit. I don't buy that for a fucking second. I think it's far more likely that they just went, oh, Shitenno? Oh, that's like, what is that, like a Buddhist thing? Fuck that, they're the fiends now. This really should be 4 Heavenly Kings. And this is a situation where you shouldn't localize that name into anything else as well, because it is an established term. Similarly to how you wouldn't, if something in English said Archangel, you wouldn't say like, oh, Great Angel, or like High Angel. You would say Archangel, because Archangel means something.
今のこやつらでは竜に満ちるエーテルを食らい尽くすことはできぬであろう。
Okay. So we're doing this here and saying, don't worry, it's still alive. It's like as they are now. They can't possibly devour all of the, consume all of the ether of this dragon.
だが
You're filling this dragon.
この竜にはまだ他に利用価値があるのでな。
But that makes no difference, or... Then, what, I guess you would go with, like, that serves me well. This dragon, has other value.
Oi, 大丈夫か?
Hey, you okay?
妖異たちのエーテルは消滅したわけではないわ。
Yeah, the ether of the aberrants hasn't, vanished.
存在そのものが結晶化している。私たちの世界でいう封印のようなものね。
It's like their very being itself has been crystallized. Like a seal in our world.
スカルミリオーネなる妖異はメモリアと言っていた。
Yeah, that aberrant Scarumiglione. Milione. Called it Memoria.
ゼロ。君が口にしていた言葉、メモリア戦争とも関わりがあるのだろう。
Zero. Does this have anything to do with the Memoria War you were talking about?
ああ、世界を滅ぼした戦いで使われていた技術だ。
That's more like, oh, I'm assuming it has something to do with the Memoria War you were talking about. Yeah, it's a... this Gijitsu is a bit obnoxious. It's like... You could just say, like, it's... Like, it was used in the war that destroyed the world. I'm not quite sure if it's, like, tech or just some sort of, like, technique. Okay, as far as I'm aware... Like, once something has become Memoria, it would never returns back to the way it was.
そうか。改めて助立ちしてくれたこと、本当に感謝する。
I say, once again, thank you so much for your assistance.
余計な借りを返してエーテルを食い損ねないようにしただけだ。さあ仕切り直しだ。とっととよこせ。
All I did was repay my, debt. Made sure I would be able to get the ether I was promised. And now then, let's get back to that immediately.
はいはい。
Right away.
この後も探索は続くのだから加減はしてちょうだいね。
Okay, we're going to, what, like... Okay, we're going to keep exploring after this, so... It's like, what, keep it within reason, or something?
.どんな働きもエーテルという対価次第か。なるほど。こちらの世界は随分とシンプルらしい。
Alright. It's like, so everything is... It's like all work is, paid for in ether. This world seems pretty simple. Like, yeah, remarkably simple. It's like everything's got its, like,
これで今度こそ貸し借りはな
equivalent
しね。
value in ether. Okay, that's like, okay, that's, yeah, okay. I understand what they mean. So now, this is just so now we're even.
ところであなた、さっきの様子だとまた何かを見たのではなくて。
Yeah, so by the way, from the look of you, there you saw something again, right?
Ryu の姿を見たと。我ら天竜に似た姿ならばアジュダヤかもしれない。
The MTL is reading lines backwards. It's hallucinating, that's great. Yeah, okay, you saw a dragon. If it looked like, a celestial, a heavenly dragon like myself, it might have been Ajidaya.
だが、すでに容易に捕まっていたというのか。
But to think that she had been captured by the aberrants.
ゴルベーザ、そいつが親玉か。
Goldbeza. Oyada. I guess he's their boss. He's running the show around here.
さすがに考えることが多すぎるわ。少し落ち着いて一つずつ整理していきましょう。
And there's far too many things to consider, to take into consideration. Let's try and calm down and sort things out. Now, in that case, it was Oyadama. Crystals. That was a long-ass quest. There's a lot of cutscenes. Okay. Before we go out looking for any new information, we should, you know, see if we can, figure out if there's anything like, that we don't understand about what we've, like, recently experienced, I guess. Okay, if we ask Zero about it, we might learn more about the 13th world. And we should be able to get... It's like we should be able to get our ether's worth. Okay. Or is that Dolke? It's like, what, someone's longing, maybe? Anything we don't understand? Oh yeah, you've been to the 13th before and fought, Aberrants, right? Yeah. Huh, wait a second, yeah, this is a good point. Yeah, then, like, shouldn't you have known that they would come back? You know, if you had told us that, we would have been able to figure out, you know, something to do about it. Okay, that's fun. Your options here are, they didn't resurrect that time, or... You know, I think I might have been in, like, you know, might have been in a bit of a rush. I mean, I'm gonna say, like, they didn't come back then. I mean, it's not like I doubt you, but from what Scotomidione said, it seems like, you know, like there is no such thing as death in the world. You know, no exceptions. Okay, if the aberrancy you defeated and killed really didn't come back to life, there might have been some reason for that. Like, were they, you know, maybe sealed away? Like what Zero just did? Can you think of anything? Okay, there are times when, you know, we simply cannot be revived. I need to turn this down. It's so loud in my ear. And let me explain. Please do. Okay, the more powerful the aberrant, the more it has, devoured. Oh, okay, this results in a state in which many souls are, you know, mingled in one body. Patch, this is going to be some sort of bit. Yes, it is. Okay. It was not an important translation thing, but it was important. Thank you. I knew instantaneously it was not going to be a real thing. Yeah, or perhaps, like, it's like, additionally, there are times, like, before one can fully revive, other aberrants could swarm in and devour the ether. You know, the more powerful the aberrant, the longer it takes to revive. And in any case, it's very unlikely that it'll be revived in its original, like in its previous form. Okay, so... Okay, so side skills like Scorumidione. Being able to resurrect those, you know, resurrect entities rapidly be due to, what, like some special characteristic ability of his to, what, manipulate death, as he said. But can other aberrants not do that as well? Okay. Yeah, I suppose you could say that it's a, you know, specialty of his. It's like what you could say, like restoration, regeneration is a specialty of his. Like he was, it must be, has been like incredibly attached to his body, sentimentally. Okay, I believe we understand now how resurrection works in a world without death. Now then, on to the next question, please. Okay. That, like, ability that you used, Zero Memoria. Or, yeah, that ability that you used just now, Zero, sealing the Aberrant's Way and Crystal's Memoria. What exactly is that? I mean, it's just what you saw. And when I took them down, I crystallized their souls in ether. Yeah, okay, Gijutsu is being a real pain in the ass here because it's not... I think you would say, like, it's like something that was utilized in the Memorial War, that I mentioned before. And back then, there were quite a few who could use it. You know, but I doubt there's any that remain other than myself now. Okay, speaking of war, I heard from a, you know, certain young boy, that the heroes of the 13th world sealed away idols in, you know, sacred crystals. That'd be the same thing, perhaps. I've never heard of the term sacred crystal. It's sacred stone, it's seiseki. Again, this is what they call auracite, but honestly, considering the rest of the game, I think you really should call them, like, sacred crystals. It's like, yeah, but, you know, names vary from place to place, so I think they're probably the same thing. They must be the same thing. Okay. What are the... What are the conditions to be able to utilize it? Why are you the only one who can still use it? I never really thought about it. Okay. For now, all that I really know is that, you know, those who have become aberrants can't use it. You know, the reason why I can is because I'm only, you know, a half-breed. I guess. I see. Thank you. And sorry, I have a question for you as well. If you don't mind, I have a question for you as well, please. regarding that, you know, that thing, Gorubeza. That player character saw. I have no idea whether or not the dragon captured by him would be was my sister, Al-Jadaya, but if you know anything about him, please tell me. And I feel like I've heard the name Gorubeza somewhere, but I'm sorry to say I'm not really, I don't really keep up with gossip. And it's like, you know, if he's a big shot with a lot of subordinates beneath him, there might be somebody who, like, knows of him amongst the, you know, residents of the castle. Okay, let's go see. Let's go ask around. Oh yeah, wait a second, we're just bringing this back up. Yeah, in that case, could you please take the lead on that? You know, it should be easier for you with your transcendence to communicate with them. And above all, you know, in any case, it seems as though you're more capable of, you know, calmly, with, like, examining information than Vritra. It's like, I think you would go with something along the lines of, like, you know, going about this calmly than Vritra. What's the term for this in English? What's the term for this in English? You know, like, I don't have anything to say. I mean, I guess you would go with, like, I can't exactly deny that. Okay, go back to the park, garden, talk to people about... Okay. Gorubeza. Okay, they're gonna stay back here and go over things. Really, dive deep. Oh, okay. The area design is, like, it's so good in this game. It really started to pop off right around Shadowbringers, and it's just gotten better. And so the clever one wasn't eaten yet. If they're still there, I'd really love to eat them too. Uruveva. Yeah, like even the you know, it's like even the not clever ones know that. Almost like I've heard of him like in other domains. No one has ever seen Gorveza. Like, in his place, the four heavenly kings are always off fighting somewhere. Like, and they'll devour, you know, gobble up. Just like, yeah, they'll devour any useless underlings. You know, the weak ones, ones who can't fight. If you don't want to be eaten, there's no choice but to run. And whether or not you can is up to luck. Okay. Yeah, are there any, like, henchmen of his underlings that have escaped somewhere? Okay. This, the eyes thing going on with the eyes. Talk to you about Gorveza. Oh yeah, yeah, Lord of the Castle mentioned that Gorveza. Yeah, it's like, yeah, Gorveza has the four heavenly kings. They're so strong, so scary. You know, many realms, domains were taken away, stolen by them, captured, you would probably say. Okay, the Lord gave us order, defend castle from heavenly kings. Yeah, that's... I had an order. Okay, yeah, it's... If you remember before, that one was saying like, oh, I don't have any orders, I don't know what to do with my life. Oh wait, no, I do have an order, it's defend this place from the four heavenly kings. Okay. It's you again, tasty looking one, I'll hold back. I'm just giving a very brief gloss, but the way that all of their dialogue is written shows like a declining level of intelligence. Yeah, I've never seen Gorveza, but I know him. Huh. Oh, wait a second, is that what they mean? Kutayatsu. What, it's like everyone knows? Hmm? Like what the ones they've eaten know? That's maybe it. Is that what they mean, actually? Okay, yeah. Gorveza has underlings. Gorveza's underlings have underlings. And so you can never reach him. You can never meet him. You can never reach him. Oh, okay. Yeah, just like a never-ending string of subordinates. I'm not entirely sure if I was reading that right, but that seems to be what they're implying, that, like, by eating the ether of other beings, they gain their memories to an extent, or knowledge to an extent. I think that might be what they're establishing. If so, cool. I mean, ooh, in that case, if that is actually a thing, then I get the distinct feeling they're going to have, like, the four heavenly kings who have, like, you know, been eating the dragon's memories, or we're gonna have, like, fragments of Ajuda's memories and shit like that, right? Maybe. That could potentially be a very important line to translate correctly. But I mean, it's really weird. That one's a really weird one. But it's like, minna shiteru kara. Like, the 振ったやつの知ってたことみんなしてるから。I mean, I can't really see how you could read that any other way than, like, you know, everyone knows, like, you know what what the person you've eaten knows. It's like you know what those you eat know. Everyone knows that. Yeah, were you ever learn anything? Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's very specific. Okay, Gorvez has many subordinates left by the four heavenly kings. Alright. Okay, this is all just like pure recap. The concept that they're sent out to attack other, you know, areas, realms, domains matches up with what Scotter Midione was doing. But like, if the commander Goreza doesn't ever show himself in public, we'll need to, we'll have to think of something. Okay, do we try and find one of the, you know, the four heavenly kings, like during their like rampages throughout the void, or do we try and find like deserters from their army and extract information from them? Okay, but yeah, in any case, it seems very unlikely we'll figure out anything else unless we go somewhere else. Or go to another domain. They keep using the term Ryoiki, like it's territory, domain, area. They're using it to mean like someone's established sphere of influence. And Zero, there's something I'd like to ask you to do. I want to find Ajidaya, no matter what. Okay, in order to do that, we must, it's like, yeah, we have to seize any possible opportunity, no matter how unlikely. And therefore, I'd like to ask that you continue. I mean, you could say, like, we need your knowledge and capability. It's like knowledge and strength. So that we can find Gorveza. Will you accompany us? What, it's like... Yeah, entirely out of the, how do you say this? It's like, I can't even possibly begin to start bargaining with that. Have you forgotten the one rule of this world already? Okay. You want me to go with you? You need to prove what, you know, that there's something in it for me. If there's any aberrants out there that you would try and help you based on, like, emotion or sentiment. They're probably just tricking you, trying to get one over on you. Or was that a threat just now? If I refuse, are you going to, compel me to serve you like Xenos did? Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna go with the bottom option of like, okay, what do you want? If there's anything you want, let us know. What do you want? God, there is nothing I want. Yeah, from the beginning, I've never had any goal or desire. Any goals or desires. Okay, that's... Yeah, it's like, what? So when I was attacked by the, like, denizens of this, from the, like, what, by the people of this castle, I didn't put up a, a pointless struggle. I just let myself be taken as a prisoner. After all, no matter how things, turn out, end up, nothing really matters in a, world that's already ended. Yeah, so, in other words, you have absolutely no reason to refuse our request either. Yeah, you yourself said, or it's like, yeah, if we, so, like, if we, offer a, what, like, a good enough, offer up a good enough price, you'll come with us, right? And that's what I said from the start. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it's like, yeah, so then, Zero, how about this? You come along with us, and whenever you do something that's, like, worthy of payment, we give you ether. Again. Okay, it's like, yep, that's all I... Okay, it's like, yeah, that's all I needed to hear. Don't you dare go back on that. Alright, now that we're all on the same page, where are we going? God, this is all one incredibly long run-on sentence. Okay, if we could figure out where the 4 Heavenly Kingdoms might attack next, or wherever any aberrants that deserted Gorduveza's army might have fled to, that would be, the best. I think I might know where you could... I think I might know for the latter. Follow me. Do you know how to leave this domain? I'm pretty sure we're not just going to be able to walk. Okay, when I was brought here to this castle, it was on, like a Like a trained flying aberrant, I guess. We'll use those. Yeah, there are plenty of flying aberrants around the garden, rooftop gardens. Yep, yep. Alright, we're gonna need to pick large ones. Okay, if you use ether, you should be able to tame them. Okay, so this is all just gameplay of you get a flying mount. Sure. Oh. Yeah, this is terrible news. I must report to Lord Gorubez at once. We didn't notice. We didn't notice the gigantic flying eyeball staring directly at us. Apparently. To be fair, this guy sells a lot of those. That's true. But at the same time... Yeah, let's ride on the like, giant scythe arm guys. That seems like a good idea. Okay, flying aberrants around here. There's... Yeah, like, no more prey for them. You know, nothing left to feed them. They're, okay, starving. Small amount of ether should be enough to tame them. Okay, you ready? Yes.
Itazo. Areda.
Yeah, there. Yeah. That one. Yo, what up, man?
Yoshi. 私に従うと言っている。背
Hey,
中に乗れ。
yes. Good. It said it would obey me. Get on. It is very funny. But there's a difference between Yosh and Yos. There is very much a difference. What in the fuck? Alright. Just a bunch of random mobs from previous, void dungeons and shit. We all do the superhero landing. Ooh, nice. Fuck, now I want matcha ice cream, though.
ここは一体
What is this place?
私が作った領域だ。
Ooh. Okay, it's like, yeah, the domain that I built. Saying Tsukutta is interested there, actually. Or is interesting. It's like, you know, the domain I built, created.
もともとは私が自分一人で隠れ住むために作った場所だったんだがな。
Originally, it was a place I built to, like, a hideaway on my own.
強い用意と関係を築けず、群れからつまはじきにされた者たちが勝手に集まってきてこうなった。
This is an awkwardly worded line. It's like, okay. Those who, like, failed to form... But I guess you would say strong bonds, or like, those who failed to establish relationships with strong aberrants. You know, those who had been, like, ostracized from the... like, from their groups. Just started gathering here of their own accord.
いわばはぐれ用意の里というわけね。
Yeah, so then... I suppose you could say it's a... your village of... gray aberrants. The Hogure is the same Hogure that they used for, like, Hogure Tsumikui. What's that? A human. They're human. They look so tasty. But let me eat it. Let me eat them. It's very important that they say ningen. I'm not gonna ask for any further English, but what is that ningen in the English? Yabe. Oh, what is that? Oh, what? She's guarding them. Ah, no use then. I wanted to eat it so bad. Mortals? Of course it's fucking mortals. Of course it's fucking mortals. They say human. Mortal is not a synonym for human. Mortal is not a synonym for human. I desperately need hack fantasy writers and hack translators to stop using the word mortal when it is not used. Like, on the translation side, if they don't say mortal, then you need to not say mortal. And on the original Western, you know, fantasy side of things, it's not a synonym for human. If you just have any, like, fancy entity go, oh, you mortals. I don't even know why they always do it. It's some sort of just, like, weird fascination with the word. This is my domain. Yeah, now that I've shown that... Well, it's like, I've demonstrated that, you know, I, as the like, Lord Master of this place, and as, like, I've put you under my protection, none of them will dare try and lay a finger on you. But, like, also, literally, the fact that they use the term, like, they differentiate between Hito and, like, Bonzoku, even as far back as ARR, indicated that all of the different player races were part of the same greater, like, species. That despite having, like, physical and whatever differences, that Lalafell, Rogadin, Elizin, etc. are all part of the same overarching humanity. And oh look, when these guys come up, they go, what? Humans? They say human. Human. Like you're a Rogadin, you're a fucking cat person. Whatever, I can't remember the names. Mikore. But those are all sub-races of human. Or just like ethnicities of human. This way, follow me. That's an important distinction to make. Because as it turns out, when they say human, they mean things that are like partial souls of the ancients. This is like that is like lair. This is my hideout. Nobody else will come anywhere near it. You can be at ease, you know. You can take it easy here. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. And the people, all of them in my, you know, this domain know their place. But, you know, if some, you know, tasty ether were to show up right in front of them, you know, they might try and eat it without thinking about what they're doing. Yeah, for aberrants, devouring ether is like their only purpose in life. It's incredibly difficult to resist their, you know, that instinct, even if they know that it'll lead to their own destruction, demise. Of course, you know, if it comes to that, like, if it comes to that, I'll deal with them personally. And that's the only rule in my domain. But it's like, I guess you would go with, like, the end of the road. Or, like, nowhere left to run, maybe. Okay, so I've explained everything to you, so what are you gonna do? And just like you wanted, everybody here is, you know, running away from stronger aberrants, but, you know, you won't know unless you ask them if they actually were part of Gorobeza's army. They got something right. 1 out of 10,000. Whoa, let's go. There should be plenty here who have traveled to your world. They should be able to communicate. So something said. Okay, let's go talk to him. Appreciate the warning. Okay, I'm not just gonna hide away. I'm not just gonna come all the way out here and then hide myself away somewhere safe. Again, this is skimming. Okay, let's ask, around about Gorobeza and then compare notes. What we've learned back at the, plaza. Sure. You're gonna go too? Okay, I'll go with you then. And I'll tell you up front, I'm not going to help. I'm just interested in what you're gonna do. You might say, like, I'm just curious about what you're going to do. Alright. Okay. Up to you as to who to talk to. Sure. Let's get some extra dialogue here. And it's like I call this place my hideout, but I don't really come back here to sleep. It's for... Oh, what? I had to say, this is like a place for meditation, contemplation. Okay, if my body is injured, I can recover by replenishing the lost ether, but... Oh. Is that the way that I'm reading this? It's like if one loses sight of their true self, you won't be able to, like, maintain your original form. Okay, that often happens after, like, taking in or, you know, absorbing another soul. Like, when the boundaries between, you know, oneself and another blurs, you know, appearances change as well. And so, by meditating in this, it's like by always returning here, like to this place to meditate, I can remember, like, who I really am. That's kind of how I thought that would work. Interesting. Okay, this is the like, center or... but, like, central part of my domain. It's usually a lot quieter. You seem to have sparked everyone's interest. Yeah, I don't remember... yeah, I don't, like, remember this statue, though. Yeah, the only thing is that I know for certain is that I didn't, like, want it to be here. Okay, no need to think about it. Don't want to. So they are going with a sort of, like, this is all basically, like, ephemeral dreamscape nonsense. And stuff just kind of shifts and changes. Yeah, what are you doing with them? I don't think you're prey, a subordinate. Yeah, okay, yeah, you know I don't take I don't take subordinates. Just, it's fine. Just answer the questions. Yeah, Goreza. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the only one I know is Skaha. I don't remember what this is. Skaha. What, it's like... Skaha took everyone to the other world, but I got scared and ran away and ran back. Since then, no one else came back. You really gotta write this as being like they talk in very simplistic and stilted tones. Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm terrible with names, but yeah. And so, this is where I've, you know, been. This is where I've, like, belonged since then. It's like I'm not with anyone else, not interested. That's why I only know Skaha. Yeah, I've heard that Skaha was a aberrant with an incredibly vast domain, left the void an incredibly long time ago. Probably wouldn't be involved with what Goreza has been doing recently. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's making some slime noises. No. Yeah, what's wrong with you? You don't want to get eaten, leave. If you don't want to get eaten, go away. Go to Beza. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before. Oh, I remember. Yeah, it was that guy doing those like that holy war. Yeah, I don't really that. Oh, it's like you have to go like holy war. I don't know what that is. You know, but it's got a nice ring to it. So I remembered. So, they're doing a bid there where it's umasou na hibiki, which means, you know, it gets like tasty, but also just like nice, right? You, in English, you would just say it's got a nice ring to it. This in. Yeah, like, wait, but it says holy war. Holy war. Did I hear that right? It's like, okay, I heard it from like this, you know, from that weakling from that coward doodle. That's impossible. He was like the minion, he was a subordinate, like a subordinate of one of Godove's subordinates. And that's why it was, always... It was like he was in such a, he was like so wound up saying how terrifying Godoveza was. Okay, so we gotta go find this guy. That guy. That's the guy that we gotta go find. Sure. Yeah, you're human. Yeah, you're human. It's like, yeah, if you die over there, you really die, right? No way. So why would you come here then? Oh, Goroveza. Yeah, I've heard that he's, like, been gathering strong subordinates, underlings, to, make his army even stronger. Yeah, but, these days, they're not, well, like, the thing is, he's talking very simply. It's very simplistic terms. It's like they haven't been adding any new subordinates, you could just say minions. I've heard they've just been eating ether. Devouring ether. Okay, so it's like now that he's got enough... It's like now that he's got enough pawns, he's just trying to... advance them. Because it is like Tegoma is like pieces. It is like a little bit of a shogi sort of thing. Maybe that's a sign that he's planning something soon. Okay, let's go. Let's leave before, you know, he starts, like, gnawing at you. Okay, let's go to the square. Sure. Yeah, okay, so even in, like, this remote of a domain, there's rumors about Goreza. You know, if you really think about it, it's probably trying to, you know, strengthen his army for another, or like for a holy war. It's not really clear what exactly he's planning or what exactly they're you know, the full scope of those plans. There's quite a few aberrants who are, you know, interested, curious about what he's going to do. Okay, so it's like Derudo was in Gorve's army, subordinate of subordinate. You know, so that must mean he was like the, you know, underling subordinate of one of the four heavenly kings. Okay. Let's go find that guy. Okay, let me explain about that guy. He's telling us about that thing. Undoubtedly the weakest aberrant in this domain. You know, for fear of being, like, consumed, he rarely shows himself. Okay, if there's anyone that he would let his guard down around, it would be, Chiriat. You know, they're also, like, you know, like a staunch coward or like a born coward. It's like terrified of even the slightest things, always, you know, running away to hide. It's like he's so terrified he can't even hide in the same place for very long. Okay, so in short, they're both cowards. When they're, like, absolutely starving, they like, eat each other's ether. And that's about that. Okay, let's go talk to him. Okay. It's just saying, like, Zero's gonna take the lead, gonna run away if they see something they don't know. Meanwhile...
門の向こう側から現れた者がトロイア城を占拠。アーツへ接触を図ったスカルミリオネを退けたと。
Man, the fire noises are making this very difficult to hear. Yeah, the one who came from, like, beyond the gate seized control of Toroya Castle. Moreover... like, I mean, I guess you would just say, like, defeated Skarumirion. God. It's like, you know, who made contact with them.
にわかには信じられんな。
It's like all so sudden I can hardly believe it. Or it's like, I mean, maybe it's like, you know, it truly is hard to believe, you would probably say.
それだけではございません。そやつらの連れがスカルミリオーネ様の魂を結晶のようなものに変えてしまったのです。
Yeah, that's not all. They transformed Scottavignione's soul into something like a crystal.
結晶まさかメモリアか
A crystal. Yeah, could it possibly be Memoria?
かそいつは懐かしい言葉だ
Haha. I haven't heard that in quite some time. However,
バカ言ってんじゃねえあの力を持つ者は皆我らと同じく闇に飲まれたただの一人も例外はいね
yeah, don't be ridiculous. All those who, like, wielded that power were fully consumed by darkness, just like as we were. All without exception.
だが現にスカルミリョーネの反応は消失したままだ
Okay. However, yeah, it is true. What, that, like, Scottavignione's... I'm assuming this Honno is, like, you know, some sort of connection. But I'm not quite sure. So, I think for now I'm just going to say, like, you know, has vanished.
奴が健在であればとうに復活しているはずであろう
Yeah. If he were, you know, still well, he ought to have revived by now, should he not?
あやつの力がお前たちよりも劣っていたことは確かだが再生能力にかけては抜きんでたものがあった
While it is true that, you know, his strength was no match for yours, or was inferior to yours, his regenerative capabilities were truly outstanding.
失われたはずのメモリア化の力を持つ者が今もまだ未練がましくさまよっているというなら
Okay. If it is true that... You know, something with that... You know, with the, like, power of Memoria that ought to have been lost long ago. We're still obstinately... wandering about.
我らの脅威となる前に排除せねばなるまい
They must be dealt with before they can pose a threat to us. You know, before they become a threat to us, rather.
ならばそやつらの対処はこの私風のバルバリシアベにお任せを
And then, yeah, Barishia, you know, of the wind, will deal with them.
ゴルベーザ様の大望の妨げにならんとする者どもを必ずや討ち取ってご覧に入れましょう
Okay, this is all just standard bad guy talk, like, you know, I will eliminate all those who stand in the way of Gorveza's, you know, Lord Gorveza's grand ambitions.
確かに兵を率いて攻め込むにはお前が適任か
Okay, I'm sorry, what are you talking about? It's like, what, yes, yeah, you may indeed be the right person to lead the, the soldiers into battle.
その代わり見事打ち果たした暁には褒美をいただきとうございます。
This is not the same Akatsuki. This is a different thing. It's like, as payment, it's like, I would like a reward upon, the successful, like, upon the occasion of my victory, I would like a reward. More stimio. This is like, state your desire.
あの竜のエーテル、残りすべて私にお与えを。
That I should be given, like, that dragon's remaining ether. All that remains.
無礼であろう。分をわきまえよ。
I mean, that's like, what? How insolent, yeah, it's like how rude you ought to know your place.
あいにくと我が神は風のように自由気まま。確かな約束がなければどこへなびくかわかりませんので。
Huh? Okay, it's like... Okay, unfortunately, yeah, my hair... You might say hairs are, as free as the wind. And without a, like, firm promise in place, who knows where they might blow? Hair is her thing? Okay.
大きく出たものだ。そこまで言うからには失敗は許されんぞ。
Okay, that's kind of amazing. That's like quite the bold claim. What, and like now that you... Yeah, what a bold claim. And now that you've made it, I'm sure you're aware that failure will not be tolerated.
この紙にかけても。
I'm sorry. Okay, this is... この紙にかけても. So this is swear? Like, I swear? Upon this hair of mine, but it carries the connotation of betting as well, right? Like, you might say, like, upon, my hair. It will not fail. I will not fail.
ならば解く行け。そして我らに立てつくことの愚かさをその魂に刻みつけてやるのだ。
Yeah, then go with all haste. Yeah, that's amazing. Let us engrave upon their souls, like, the folly of defying us. That's awesome. Yeah, it's like, let us engrave upon their souls the folly of defying us. Okay, no worries hiding, sure. I should not have taken this, okay. Yeah, there's aberrants here, no master, live as they please. Only thing that they must, you know, that they're compelled by is hunger. Leave in search of prey. Okay, they like replenish each other's ether, like in, you know, stability, sure. It's like they're just kind of like gradually grinding each other down, I guess. You know, they never leave, they never expend ether doing anything. What do I do? Oh, hey, Juliet, where's, Farfarero? Farfarero. Is that supposed to be like Farfarero? Farfarero. Farfarero. Oh, he ate him. He ate him. Yeah, okay, he's not around anymore. He ran away. Huh. He ran. He's not the type to go very far. I mean, in any case, he's not around. He's not here anymore. He's not here anymore. He's gone. I think he was like, yeah, you go with like he's not here anymore. He's gone. It's they keep repeating Inai. You know, like you would probably say like in any case he's gone. He's gone. Gone. Yeah. Yeah, that was Chiliad. Yeah, but I wonder, did he really run away like he said? Oh wait, no, never mind. I don't know why the fuck I read it like that. It's like I told you before, he, you know, really is, you know, quick to run away, right? Yeah, but, you know, something doesn't feel right. Yeah, it's like I'm not very good at picking up on, you know, other people's emotions. Yeah, what did you think? Okay, your options are, you know, they're attacked by something and or like, you know, they're threatened by something, scared, or feels like they're lying. Feels like they're lying. And like, what, you think that he was like shaking like that because he was lying? And at the very least, the only thing that we can really be certain of is that Farfarero is not here. It kind of does. Yeah, so, you know, why did I feel like something was off? Okay, Favreau is nowhere to be seen. And Chiliad, who's normally, what, like running all over the place, was just standing there. It can't be. Okay, we need to go after Chiliad. And we're trying to find Favoreo, but there's, you know, something that I'm worried about. I mean, it's the whole thing of, like, you know, the souls merge and then they kind of get the traits of both. Right? I don't know if they've really been establishing that in the English very heavily, but it seems like they're, you know, in the Japanese, they're very heavily emphasizing the idea that if you eat somebody, you kind of potentially end up like them. Hey, Chiliad, just want to talk for a bit. Huh? But it's like, oh, the like, wind is... Wait, what? Karamitsuku. Karamitsuku. No, I mean, I get what he's saying, but I'm just trying to think of how you say this in English. It's like, you know, the wind is, like, whirling. I guess you would say whirling, maybe? They're coming. I need to run. Everyone, be careful. What was that? What's he running away from? Yeah, let's keep tracking him. Look at them go. They're having so much fun in the soup. And what are you, like, yeah, what are you so scared of? What exactly is coming? The wind is coming. Yeah, what about it? Barisha is coming. Yeah, Barisha. Who's that? Yeah, everyone needs to run away. There's no time. It seems like he senses like something approaching, but I don't feel anything. Okay, there's a dead end up ahead. We'll get him there. Okay, but it's like right on the edge of a cliff. Right. He's gonna fucking jump or something. Oh wait, no. I thought this was gonna be like a sheer cliff. Oh, there's nowhere left to run. What are you running away from? We've established this. Yeah, the wind. It's like the wind is coming, blowing here. Barbarisha. Yeah, like one of Gordovez's 4 heavenly kings, Barbarisha of the wind. What? Wait, one of Gordovez's 4 heavenly kings. they... The people they fight, they either eat or turn into minions. If you become a minion, you fight forever in their holy war. And it won't ever end until someone eats you. Well, I mean, also, literally, they're saying it's a holy war, and then they're using heavenly kings. They're doubling up on the whole, like, sacred, divine, holy. Because it's like, it's exactly the same as if you used archangel, right? Like, that's the comparison that I keep going back to. They're leaning into the fact that they're referred to as the heavenly kings by saying that they're going off on a holy war. Yeah. Barisha is going to bring so many of, like, yeah, of her minions here with her. Or actually, no, that's like has so many minions, right? Yeah, I didn't want to fight. You know, anyone anymore. That's why I came here. You know, to this domain. And finally, you know, it all makes sense. And Barisha is coming here to fight. And sensing that you're running all over the place. Or it's like, yeah, you were trying to escape. Yeah, but Chiliad, why do you know so much about, you know, her? You know, from what we heard, it was Farfarero that was the minion of, you know, one of the 4 heavenly kings. Yeah, but Farfarero is, you know, isn't anywhere to be seen, you know, where he usually hangs out, and instead, for some reason, you know, Chiliad, you were there. You know, like, freaking out about the 4 heavenly, you know, about one of the 4 heavenly kings. So then, that means... did you eat him? He ate him, didn't he? It's like, yeah, huh. Yeah, you're... Very backhanded compliment here. It's like, huh, yeah, you're, I guess you might even go with, like, you're sharper than you look for this. So, Chiliad, did you eat Farfarero? That's more like you ate him, didn't you? And not just your usual, you know, ether sharing all of him. You know, including his soul. How did you know? And when I saw you before, something felt off. You know, not just that you were acting funny. It's like... So they're saying, like, like, something about your, like, presence was wrong. How do you say これは食ったな? I mean, I think that might just be literal. I mean, it's just saying, like, you know, I felt like you had, you know, eaten him something. Yes, the MTL is repeating previous lines for some reason. Not really quite sure why. It's just, like, pulling from its, databank and spitting out nonsense. It's like, yeah, of course I don't think you, like, ate him on impulse or anything. Alfredo wanted to be eaten, right? Didn't he? I knew it. I can't fool you. I knew it. There's no fooling you. That's right. Alfredo didn't run away. I ate him. So, I don't want to check the English for this. I'm not going to check the English for this, and nobody needs to look up the English for this. But there's no way in hell that they're actually translating the tone here. These things have, like, a weird, stilted, alien-ass affectation to them, right? Like, there's like, a lot of their particles are being written in katakana. They're putting pauses in sentences in weird places, things like that. So it's like, yeah, you're right. Alfarello didn't run. I ate him. You might even go with, like, didn't run, I ate. You gotta do something to indicate that it's weird, stilted, fucked up. He was so scared of Barisha. If he became a minion, he would have to fight and keep fighting forever. That's why he wanted me to eat him, to have it all be over. So he would never have to fight again. Yeah, so, yeah, like a moment's suffering, a moment's pain over a, you know, the like, terror of eternal battle. And it really does seem like something Alfarero would do. And yet, I can still hear, you know, Alfarero's terrified voice. It's like, yeah, Alfarero from, like, inside of me is still so terrified. Yeah, the souls of the... It's like the souls of the eaten blend with the soul of the eater. Hmm. That's an interesting way of saying it. It's Ishiki no, what? Sudoken. That's like hegemony, leadership. It's like, although one must like relinquish control of their consciousness, it doesn't it doesn't completely vanish. Okay. In a world where ether returns to the world after death, the souls and the thoughts, feelings engraved so deeply within it would not remain so strongly. Yeah, it's like, or if ether were to, or like it would fade away from the body gradually alongside the like circulation of ether. Yeah, however, here that sort of ending will never come. Like, you remain yourself forever. It's like, oh shit, that's brutal. Like, there is no way for Farfarello to escape. And it's like that despair and Chiliot's own fear. It's like they've it's like what he's distraught or like lost his mind. But I guess you would say like by the weight. Like of both of their hearts. Yeah, this place, it will be a battlefield. And Farfarello and I don't want to be eaten, but there's nowhere to run. Okay, in that case, tell us about, Barbarisia. Okay. Before we have to fight them, I'd like to know a bit about them. It's too late. They're almost here. It was like once it wraps around you. It's like, yeah, once it twists around you, it will not let go. That wind. It's like, you know, they're using the term twist, right? So like twine to coil, like wind and hair can both do that. Like, you can hear the voice, right? You can hear the delivery. Look, she's here, Barbarisha of the Wind is here. Oh, it's like the whole ass island.
領域ごと移動してくるとは面白いな。
Oh shit. Like, yeah, she came here with her, like, with her entire domain. How interesting.
狙いは実中ハックお前たちだろう。他に異変はないからな。
Okay. What she's after is most likely you all. You know, there's nothing else out of the ordinary around here after all.
今のうちに連れと相談でもしておいたら
Hell's that for Kanji compound?
私たちが守ってくれるだなんて期待はするな。
I mean, it's fairly simple, actually. It's fairly simple. It's... What? Jichu Haku? That's like... 8 or 9 out of 10. It really just means, like, in all probability. I mean, it's very similar. In English, you would probably say, like, 9 times out of 10, right? In English, we say 9 times out of 10. You should probably get, it's like, what, you should probably get to talking with your, you know, your friends while you still can. Yeah, don't expect me to protect you. Or, yeah, that's actually don't expect us to protect you. And it's just... Yeah, I don't... want to, you know, eat or be eaten anymore. Why won't you just leave me alone?
それは私も同感だ。
That's like... I'm with you there. One of the... You said one of the four heavenly kings is coming here?
私たちの動向は筒抜けというわけね。
Okay, that's like, it seems like, you know, somebody, I guess it's like, you know, they were watching. I guess they were watching us.
あいにくおしゃべりしてる暇はなさそうだ。来たぞ。
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure what's happening. It's a weird thing with Mort where it saves a internal... What it does is it saves like an internal catalog of results. So that if the same thing comes up multiple times, it can just pull from a local repository instead of like re-querying the same thing. But sometimes it just fucks up and decides to pull from that when it's obviously a completely different line. It's not doing it for every line, So it's only a minor inconvenience rather than a constant, persistent annoyance. But it is still annoying. It looks like we don't have time to... And we don't have time to chat. It's here. That is just straight up the Final Fantasy IV design, isn't it?
トロイア城まで迎えに行くつもりだったけど、まさかそちらから近づいてきてくれるとはね。
Oh God, she's so smug. I was planning to go to, get you at Tora Castle. But I can't say I expected you to come to me instead.
ゴルベーザ四天王、風のバルバリシアか。
One of Gorveza's 4 heavenly kings, Parvaricia of the Wind, I take it.
慣れ慣れしく呼ぶでない。
Yeah, this is an incredibly different, or, shit, no, I don't mean different. This is an incredibly specific way of saying this that you would need to word differently in English. The phrase here is like, don't, say that like you know me, effectively. But, like, you can listen to the way that she's saying it, so that, honestly, you probably would have to go with something like... It's basically is that meaning. You would say so... You would probably have to go with something like, do not say that like you know me.
それにしても、何なのこの無様な領域は。
Anyway. Or it's like at any rate, or still, what is this pathetic domain? You might say, like, unsightly, pathetic.
ザ子供がちょろちょろと目障りだね。
You just have to... It's like all of these pathetic, weaklings scampering about. What an eyesore. Up, and they're dead.
"それでスカルミリオネをやってくれたようだけど、あちら側から一体何しに来たんだい?"
Yes, so. It's like, seems like you got one over on, Scorminione. Or it's like you did him in, but... what the hell are you coming here from, from the other side to do? I mean, it's yatte kureta yo. So it is kind of like, saying, yeah, you got rid of him. I think you would go with, like, look, yeah, you got rid of Scorminione, but, the hell did you come over from, the other side to do? What are you doing here? On this side.
数千年前にこちらに渡ってきたはずでな。それについて何か知っていることは？
We're looking for a dragon. Yeah, they crossed over here, to this side, several thousand years ago. Do you know anything about that? You probably say, do you know anything about them? A dragon. Yup, just laughing.
なるほど。ゴルベーザ様があれを残しておいたのも、さらにうまそうな獲物を釣るためだったってわけか。
Again, saying are, dehumanizing, referring to them as an object. I see. So, Lord Godoveza kept it around to lure in, even more delicious prey. It seems. Or it's like, to fish out even more delicious prey. That thing, maybe? Yeah.
こやつらの魂も残らず平らげてやるとしよう。
It's like what, in honor? Or like out of respect of his, keen insight, or like keen wisdom. Nah, you wouldn't say the meal or anything like that. That's doing way too much. That's just making shit up. Like, it just says ore. Like it, that. It's referred to it as just an object, right? The important thing is that they're not referring to her as a living being. It really should be as close to just it as you can possibly get. It's like, what, I'll devour all of your souls. I'll devour all their pathetic souls.
知っているな、味だよ。
Moi. You would probably just have to go with, like, yeah, you know her. You know about Ajidaya.
お前からも感じるぞ。うまそうな竜の匂いも。
It's like, oh, I can feel it from you too. That, delicious smell of dragon. I think you could say like dragon scent. Yeah.
そう簡単に俺たちを食えるとは思わないことだ。
And don't think you can eat us that easily.
どうだろうね。私は不意打ちしか能のないスカルミリオーネとは違うんだ。
I wonder about that. Yeah, I'm not like Scodominione. Incapable of anything but his, underhanded surprise attacks. Are we planning on doing the trial today? Oh, definitely next time.
私自ら領域に招待してやろう。竜について知りたければおいでなさいな。
I personally invite you to my domain. If you want to know about the dragon, by all means come.
もちろん食われるのが怖ければ逃げ出してもいい。その代わりこの薄汚い領域の雑魚がどうなるか楽しみだね。
Of course, if you're afraid of, being eaten, you can always just run away. But then I wonder what will happen to the, the like pathetic. It's, Zuko is always a pain in the ass. Again, weaklings. Small fry. You probably just say weaklings. You know, of this, like, filthy domain. And what will happen to the, like, pathetic weaklings of this filthy domain. Ooh, it'll be so much fun. That's really like, I'm looking forward to it, but, you know, that's really more like, it will be so much fun in this context, right? Alright, what are we doing? What are we gonna do? Okay, our options are go after Borissia, or you think this might be a trap? I'm gonna be dumb and be like, what if this is a trap? It's obviously a trap. Probably a trap. Probably, but... You know, even knowing that full well, I'm sure you had no intention of, running, right? You know, he's like, you knew you knew it was a trap, but you're still planning on going, you know, in headlong, right? In English, you might go with, like, probably, but I'm sure that's not gonna stop you. That's basically the sort of, like, you know, cool-ass line that he's given there. So, we're going. We're going in. But what about you, Zero?
お前たちの行動に興味があるとは言ったが、安い挑発に乗ってわざわざ奴に食われに行くのはごめんだ。
You know, I said that I was interested in what you were going to do. But I'm not gonna, like, fall for a, like, cheap taunt and deliberately walk right into her trap. Well, that's like, you know, I'm not just gonna fall for a cheap taunt and walk headlong into getting eaten.
それでもというのならわかるな。
ああ、それでもっていうのならわかるな。It's like, but if you insist, I'm sure you get what I'm sure you get my drift.
では、今度は私がエーテルを対価として差し出そう。
Okay, then, you know, I'll be the one to, you know, this time I'll offer you, you know, ether as payment.
私にはまだやるべきことがあるゆえ、命までは差し出せない。それに触らぬ範囲であれば、君の望むだけ食らうといい。
Yeah, there's still, you know, things that we must do, so I can't give you my life. You know, as long as it doesn't interfere, like, with what we're here to do, you can have as much ether as you want.
何より私のエーテルはバルバリシアも欲していたもの。君ならば価値がわかるのではないか。
And after all, you know, Barbarisia specifically wanted my ether. So I'm sure you, like, must know how valuable it is.
いいだろう。契約成立だ。
Fine. Yeah, the contract is complete. It's just like it's a deal, you would just say. We have a deal. Alright, you know, if we've all made up our mind, we should go over there as quickly as possible. You know, we're fighting, like, behind enemy lines, so we shouldn't give them time to we should give them as little time as possible to get ready. I agree, but, you know, us being here, like, causes there to be casualties in the village. You know, it's like because we're here that there are casualties among the villagers. At Zero, if you need some time, then and don't mind it, and don't worry. You know, the weak were, you know, like we're taken down. It's like, yeah, the weak were trampled by the strong. Business as usual. And it seems like, yeah, taking what you want by force is, you know, like, you know, natural to aberrance. Okay, in that case, then we have to, like, adapt to the ways of this world. Okay. Yeah, so now it's like, yeah, domain, the wind's domain. Okay. Question. How the hell do you get back to this place if you were to, like, teleport out? Because that's definitely going to do it for me for today. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God, you have to, like, do the whole run back. Yeah, that goes back to the castle. Oh, no. Oh, no. Meaning, okay, so that means that if you ever want to go... Fucking hell. That's so annoying. That's so annoying. That's so annoying. Alright, fine. There's some kind of fast travel? Boy, I hope so. But yeah, in any case, that's gonna do it for me for right now. I am going to relapse and look at the... Welp! I shouldn't have looked at that. So, remember this line from her where she just said, "Nare narashi yobu de... yobu nenai?" Like, she just said, like, don't, you know, don't call me that like you know me. You can see the line right there. Here, I'll put it into chat. Here is the line. I will put it into chat. The English for that one, this is the only thing that you need to see the entirety, like, this is the entire cutscene, you don't need to see the rest. That line in the English is, "Mind your manners, mortal. My name is not to be spoken, save in reverence and fear." Notice that every single time they just come up with something from whole cloth, it's fucking terrible. Why would she say mortal? Why? If anything, they, like, admire, apparently, the idea that you can die in the original world. Why are they using mortal like it's an insult? Are you stupid? I mean, the answer to that is yes, but, like, come on, man. Reading comprehension. They called them humans. They said human, ningen. You can't just replace human with mortal. That is not a legitimate localization. You are wrong. That's really the thing, is that localization is very important, it's very necessary, but these people are just really bad at it. They're really bad at their jobs. Maybe she's complimenting Acidian? Yeah, maybe. Why does she talk like this? They completely rewrote her character. They just completely rewrote her character. Instead of speaking in this, like, you know, arrogant... I don't understand. This is like, I think it's some sort of hang-up. Especially, you see this especially for female characters that talk like this, where they give them these, like, fanciful ways of speaking, instead of having, like, the intimidating, brash sort of personality that she actually has in the Japanese. Weird. Like, the English version of her is just, like, the exact opposite of the personality. Like, she just sounds like every other generic female villain, instead of actually, you know, sounding as, like, confident and blunt as she actually is. Like, in the Japanese, she's confident, intimidating, brash. And yet they're having her talk as just like a typical noble deity type. It's very lame, it's very stupid. But in any case, that's gonna do it for me for right now. Thank you all for coming by. And I think we're probably still good for Metaphor on Friday. No, I wouldn't say that the speech pattern was tomboyish at all, really, but it was just kind of aggressive. But yeah, you know, I'll see you guys on Sunday. Probably Metaphor on Friday on my brother's channel, which has been Day Tripper. But otherwise, if I ever want to go do anything else for the rest of the week, to like level up classes or anything, I'm gonna have to remember how to get all the way back here. Yay. Good times. Anyway, peace out.